touches the eastern sky as I'm standing on this reservation road. Been looking forward to this day when I would walk this road, 'cause this road takes me back to my baby's house. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Traveling this old dirt road since my younger days, it's taken me to where I want to go. To a love so true and a love so right, just take me home, take me down Reservation Road. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Back to her, back to her, back to her. Take me home, Reservation Road. touch and feeling, sweet Navajo loving, strong passion, your strong passion of all men, man of all men. Oh baby, my sweet baby, there will never be an end to our love. You've given me all these things. You brought to life all my dreams. Oh baby.
Yate Navajo Nation is your Navajo Nation president. Yate Nkadini Delis. Hori Window Rock, Arizona. Horon Knet Schleto, Aroshida Isnastangi, a Hen Kildeshni, Larohada Kisigi, Sashi Aida, KTN, the KJK, the Kanian, Aroshi Aida, and Kitch Yeshki. Yoshi, your radio in that kiss if I say static in the aluminum foil. She been that Josh and Sashi had a kiss. Hot is it? She could be shit cat. She didn't saddle knas antenna. She aluminum foil behest on the hanger that and he has in Jono na kitchen. She hot us Sashi. That is not Sashi. I don't think Masana could chase you to had a kiss. A hot ed. Nishi Hodo. Nke 5G do LTE shin da so kizon jono on the phone the HG shin hojo e hot edo Window Rock, Arizona do yat in hedini do les do happy Thanksgiving, but you now hold jish. We've got one more week till Thanksgiving, so again continue to take care of one another, continue to plan out the holidays. Si go da house nga de si e hanni do Kikedan Lenigiro Beninache Tajidal Gasia Sansiasi Yego Tajinda Sinto Beninachasi Tajida Egi Yego at the not Eshi Beninachasi a Hadoles Ehot Edoles Asi hot oh the Hodoya phone. Something's wrong with this phone. They never put it on sleep, so I remember my first time trying to go live. People don't know how to put it on sleep. So always put your phone on sleep so you don't get all these extra text messages coming in. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I really appreciate you. I think that a time of Thanksgiving is coming around. And really there's a time of not only football. I know there's a lot of you Cowboy fans out there. A lot of Cowboy haters. So Commanders that's again, it's always a good time to bring families. I know a lot of our families and our relatives, they come many miles to come home to be with their relatives. So again, it's always good to be with your relatives. The other thing I think about is local announcements. It's Office of the First Lady is hosting a coat and blanket drive out of the Office of the First Lady. So if you've got any extra winter coats, blankets, sleeping bags, wool, socks, gloves, and beanies, sashin ke etso tagota anide do, sashin ke sle do, nke chahnat oni da ha se ba da clashin hode that idea nis hode First Lady coat drive on ganagi eshin hot edelis. Auto First Lady ba office which hode snit no so 928-871-7000. She went Office of the First Lady, which is November 9 through the 20th, a coat drive. Yanaga. Auto Navajo Department of Health is giving out booster shots for the holiday season. In the Bihasti, a Hani, Dobinat Trajida, Rasto, Keshmishta, Banada di Credoa, Hayun Kikadan, Lenigi, Skene Kahabinach, Sita, Nielsen, Sashi. So the zin nada ato the quick she hinda sta you the nashi betra kregote ebina khanda atseto zeta erigin khanda ka bini nachedida the kui ushin hohot eden a kinot khana khendam the kosin sa nenegi the nache aze azyaigi arobe nache huijin kushin nada khahada nada zodan khan nada khagi booster days nenegi eshi nkhado khas auto flu shot that enegi dos twido sani 60 do beda khagin RSV eslon khada do khasta but do nis ni chedon ko masane that enegi no await that then lenigi na tin des do ya go beda khagi 20 months or younger is the RSV okay wait on that enegi ba da do khasta obedi na I need ening is bad housing ya vaccines do work so again continue to make sure that you're up to date and make sure you don't get a vaccine early in the day or you're going to feel a little sick. So again, try to get your vaccine in the afternoon so that you can work all day and then feel a little sore and a little sick throughout the night, but at least you'll feel good the very next day. The other announcement is my weekly. I like to talk about the people that are missing and our relatives that our people are that our loved ones that we're still trying to find. This one is 69-year-old James Redhouse, last seen Tisnas Punch Trading Post 25 years ago. So he's been missing for a while. And I know the loved ones in the Four Corners area are probably still looking for answers, looking for their relative as well. So if you know of his whereabouts or know of any information, call Tuba City Police 928-283-3111. And also 70-year-old Eugenia Begay was last seen Monday, November 6th, Low Mountain, Arizona. So again, if you've seen Eugenia, 928-674-211. I know that loved ones are always trying to look for their loved ones as well too. So continue to be helpful. I know through the radio broadcast and through social media, we've done a pretty good job on finding our relatives as well too. So 36-year-old Matthew Castillo, last seen October 9, 5'6". If you've seen him, 505-786-2050, Crown Point Police. Also 47-year-old Tanila Lynette Chi, last seen White Horse Chapter near Sand Springs, New Mexico. Again, if you've seen her, call Crown Point Police 505-786-2050. And then what's happening in the world? The House of Representatives passed a continuing resolution to avoid a government shutdown. I know that the government shutdown was around the corner, and we've got 2/3 of the vote, and now it's going to be going before the Senate as well to try to keep the government going until February 2nd. So if you know some senators, give them a ring and encourage them to avoid the government shutdown. Also, Walmart is also rethinking some of their checkouts as well too. So I know that a lot of you, like myself, I like to deal with a person when I check out, and then that way you don't mess things up and you're making sure that you're on track. So Walmart and Costco and some others are rethinking the automatic electronic checkouts, and they're going to start moving back towards more people, towards people as well. So again, I know those are some of the things, especially our elders. Our elders are always trying to ask questions and try to work with somebody. And sometimes the machines just don't talk back to you, not even in English. So let alone Navajo. So it's going to be good to have our elders be able to speak with someone who understands Navajo as well. And then this time in history, about 22 years ago, Harry Potter hit the big screens, November 16, 2001. I think I remember I was a 7th grader when the movie came out, and we all were encouraged to read this book. And this was the first time I got into reading because the teacher told me, if you read this book, we're all going to go to the theaters in Farmington, Allenate, and we're all going to watch it together as a field trip. So I remember me and my friends, and we all read the book, and we did our weekly reports, and we were excited to go see a movie. So that was the first time I read a full book and watched the movie right away too. So again, my teacher was Mrs. Friedley, and I know her husband, Dr. Friedley, was the superintendent of Red Mesa too. So again, thank you to all the educators that do what they can to encourage our young children to read and to get the excitement going. So again, reading is good for anyone, since even as a parent, reading to a newborn all the way into an elder. Continue to keep your mind fresh and going is always good for anybody. So again, wherever you watch Harry Potter 22 years ago, you can drop a comment. Mine was Allenate, Farmington, New Mexico. Navajo life lesson: striving for success is success. I know growing up, one of the things that I was taught is to be careful how you think. Be careful what your thoughts are on. So, and always remember that thinking about success and the ability that you're going to accomplish something is half the battle. So again, half the battle is believing in yourself. So always continue to make sure that you think you can do it and you can accomplish it and you deserve it. In Navajo, they always say, "Aro hoto dansin kesa aro ne inzine yego belaho binish aro les na nish ite shlito ultra de bekit hade de shato hawanda yat ehishe hononle amado ajayat ehin shlidole jinzon since the case belaho biga house do least and I remember that's what I was told is our thoughts and the words that come out of our mouth are very sacred. So continue to watch what you think and watch what you say. So again, and I know that I believe in each and every one of you. I know that you, whatever your endeavors are, as long as you believe in it, that's half the battle. So continue to work hard and continue to work towards your goals. Some of the things that we've accomplished this week to me, it was a significant accomplishment. I was on Monday. I made a quick trip down to New Orleans and gave a keynote address. One of the addresses, I wasn't on the agenda, but when they found out that the Navajo Nation president was going to be at NCAI, and I was more than happy to accept giving a talk. So I gave a really strong talk about unity, working together. We're all tribal nations. We're all striving for better equality, better representation, and honoring and respecting tribal sovereignty as well. So I gave a strong talk on that. And President Sharp, who was the outgoing NCAI president, told me that I've never thought I'd see the day when a Navajo Nation president would actually visit NCAI and give a talk. So I think it was a historical Monday, the first Navajo Nation president to give a strong talk like that too. So again, that's what I was told by President Sharp, and a lot of the previous presidents were very excited and happy that I was able to speak to this amazing group of individuals and tribal nations that come together to try to make sure that they're represented in D.C. I know as the Navajo Nation, we're kind of very unique because in size, in terms of land size, people size, that we tend to carry a strong voice on our own. We don't necessarily need to join organizations like that, but as Indian nations and Indian people, we should always continue to work with one another, support one another, and that way we can be a lot stronger when we're trying to accomplish the same things that face almost every other tribal nation in the country. So it was an honor to give that speech on Monday. And if you're on Facebook, you can see some of those photos there. Division of Social Services updates their plan of operation, and that's one of the things that I've really strived my departments and my division leads is to really evaluate your plans of operation, your procedures, your work plans, your work policies. How can we refine it? How can we fix it? If we have to go before a committee and get that updated. So many kudos to the HESI committee, to all the delegates that serve on the HESI committee. Thank you for approving the Division of General Services Plan of Operation update. It hasn't been updated since 1995, almost 30 years ago. So I think it was about time to update the plan of operation for that department as well. So they constantly work on employee housing, making sure electricity stays on, do what they can to keep the government buildings up and running. And they also work with insurance as well too. So again, thank you to the Navajo Nation Council delegates on the HESI committee for working with us to get that operation updated as well too. So again, and then moving on, some of the other accomplishments that we're really striving towards is by next Thursday with the Navajo Nation Veteran Administration, they're working on making sure that we can process payments. I know I've got Controller McCabe, Director Baldwin heavily working on this. We have about 1,500 claims that we're trying to process before Thanksgiving. I know a lot of our Navajo veterans and elder veterans out there are looking forward to use this funding to buy coal, wood, pellets, and possibly keep their electricity on. So let your fellow veterans know that if they've submitted a claim, my personal goal that I have for my team is to get that processed before Thanksgiving. So again, it's 1,500 claims. So we're hoping that we can get 1,500 checks out the door so we can help our veterans. One of the other things, major projects I'm working on. Last week I attended the Tribal Interior Budget Council meeting. I was there with our Honorable Council Delegate Eugenia Charles Newton, Honorable Seth Damon, Honorable Speaker Curley as well, and Honorable a few others that were there as well that were present. And I know that one of the main things that we strive for is making sure that we have representation when it comes to the Navajo Nation. And one of the things that we brought up there was making sure that Department of Justice is there, especially with the declined prosecutions of criminal cases that constantly get declined at larger rates. And so in order for us to continue to protect our people, we got to make sure that the Department of Justice and the FBI are working together with us so that we can make sure that these declined prosecutions the rates are a lot higher than they are now. So we're constantly working on that, striving towards that. So again, thank you to the leadership that I work with, such as Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton, Seth Damon, and Speaker Curley as well, for being out there with myself as well too. So again, it was a good time to be out there. So again, many thanks to the council that was out there with me. The other one that we're working on is Director at City. He's asked U.S. Senator Mark Kelly's office to propose legislation to amend the Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation and Liability Act, which is going to help try to fund some of the Superfund projects that are happening. And so again, that's one of those things where we've been fighting that even before I was born and all the way up until I was an adult, and even as president now, we're trying to make sure that our voices are being heard when it comes out to uranium cleanup. So that's always been one of my biggest priorities. But I'm glad that Director at City is there, because I know if you don't know the history of Director at City, but he was there in the 2000s and as a young professional, and he fought to help secure that over $1 billion in Tronics settlement. So he's very well aware of the issue. So it's good to have him back on board, and he's been working hard these past 10 months as well. And then last Thursday, we had the Construction Indian Country Conference. The main message that I gave there was making sure that you invest in your interns and your professional staff, especially working out in construction in Indian Country, because like myself, without the internships and without the opportunities to be a professional, I want to be where I am today. So I really encourage our architects, contractors, or owners, or construction managers that they do what they can to promote, recruit, and retain our Navajo and Indian professionals so that they can grow. And then eventually they can help lead a lot of the efforts that we're trying to strive for here on Navajo and in Indian Country. And then last week we had the Veterans Day Proclamation and the United States Marine Corps Birthday Proclamation. On Friday, we were joined by Speaker Curley, Honorable Amber Crotty, Rick Nez, Danny Simpson, and Casey Johnson. And then in the evening, we were joined by a few Dr. Andy Nez at the Marine Corps Ball as well too. So it's good to always honor our veterans, not only today but every single day. So again, thank you. And then also in the afternoon, I had the honor of being a guest to Brenda Jesus' event over in St. Michael's. Me and the First Lady attended, and it was good to see well over 200 of our elders and our veterans in attendance, and really celebrating how much our veterans mean to us again. And that's been my commitment from the very beginning. And as I mentioned earlier, for a veteran, we're really working on getting those payments processed before Thanksgiving. So bear with us. We're working on it. And I know that even this past year, we had to work on a lot of claims that weren't processed last year. So we've been cleaning up a lot of stuff, but we're excited and we're moving along, and we're learning from that as well. Upcoming events this week, MOU, an MOA that we're going to sign with the City of Page. It's going to be very important to work with Navajo Nation Police and the City of Page. I know within the Lachee area, there's a lot of our family and our relatives that just really want to increase decrease response times so that people can get help a lot quicker, especially with crime scenes and the assistance of Page police officers. That's going to be in the works. So I'll be signing that very soon in the coming days. The other thing I'll be signing in the coming days is to all you Western Navajo people. I know that Tuba City, I know that it's going to be good to sign this to transfer these funds over to Tuba City as well. $5 million for the new senior center as well too. So I know that ever since the past couple of years, I've been talking with the Tuba City chapter officials, Honorable Otto So, about the money has been allocated. It just can't get over to Tuba City chapter, and I'm glad that we finally we're going to put this to rest, and we're going to make sure we get those funds over to Tuba City chapter so they can build this really nice Tuba City center as well too. So looking forward to signing that. So those of you that are from Tuba, get ready for a senior center. And also in the coming days, I'm going to be signing a contract for Southwest Indian Foundation for about $6 million. So they're a nonprofit to really try to make sure that we can continue to build homes. Building homes is a tremendous task. I know that over the past 8-12 years, maybe a couple homes have been built. But this year alone, we've started on, I think, about 12 homes, well over 12 homes, and we're going to continue to start even more. So yeah, I hope my goal is by next year, we've got well over 100 homes under construction all across Navajo as well, too. So I know it's a big goal to go from building 5 homes every 4 to 10 years to building over 100 homes in the first year. Some people might have thought I'd be crazy, but we've got big goals. I know that we're well over 10 of them are under construction, so that's more than double over the past couple of years. So again, it's just, again, as I mentioned earlier, you're gonna have good thoughts, positive thoughts that the teams are gonna come into place and we're gonna make it happen. And it all happens with the people that you lead. So again, I'm not doing it alone. It's all the people that work for me. So again, many kudos to each and every one of you that are doing, making this a success for me every single week. So also in the works is going to be Fire Rock Casino celebrating their 15th annual, 15th year in operation. So Fire Rock Casino this weekend, if you want to stop on by, the CEO, interim CEO is going to be out there. The vice president's going to be out there. The speaker will be out there from 10 to 3. So come on by to the Fire Rock Casino as well. So, and that comes to my conclusion of my my update this week. Thank you for tuning in all the time, and thank you for tuning in on the radio as well. I know grandmas and grandpas really enjoy that, so they always walk up to me and say, every the morning outlet as ya bahonet long hada ikisota ye gonten junon khanan dinsto hajoben kitnaz megi asi kityarat eta noda. They come up to me. So again, also go into Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts if you want to listen to my radio address here that we post every Thursday for our radio listeners as well, and probably some of our relatives all across the waters or across the United States that just want to hear our language every Thursday. So again, continue to be blessed. Thank you for allowing me to be your president, and have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much. Hagonet.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rochelle Montoya, your Navajo Nation Vice President. I am giving my weekly update address from the area of Page, Arizona. I was out here in Kanab, Utah for the past few days, working with the Best Friends Animal Humane Society, wanting to collaborate on how to bring animal services to our Navajo Nation. And showing chado mosedo na doshidan benegi eya height abaka di jato height eya kuro deneda ni linigi bada huiliado beda huil go bada huiliagun hachine konasna de yotleko eben yekuri nasha Areyanle Page, Arizona, Dinasha, the Cheat chapter, all that area up there. That's where I'm at. I'm actually on the beautiful property of Amangari Resort here in this area. I just got done with meeting with some of the entrepreneurs from this area in regards to things that they see that Navajo Nation could work on and what they as entrepreneurs could work on for Navajo Nation. Shoshiro Shanela President Nigrun Ehut Abahezi di Kwagi small business owners dan Dinigi Ehit Ayati Kona Nish Hade Not Chato Kwagin Tik Edan Linigi Bananishna da Hadloro Leto Yeda Edo de Edi no Eya Bahezi di a year ago. And so Eya Beninag at Eko Kon Eya Basasidlido Hait Eya Ashkadi Jatadi no Eya Kurinasha. Dibikedo Yande Montezuma Creek Elementary School, Godiya Adi Eya Paget Banade, Hakoshiro. So I'll be over there. And then by tonight, I will be in the New Mexico area to attend some meetings and to attend some events in that area. So that's what I've been doing so far. I was in attendance at the veterans event last Friday. I did see a lot of comments on social media in regards to why I wasn't sitting down. I was at a different event right before then. I got there a little bit late. The prayer was happening, and then our veterans had already been seated. So I'm not going to be telling veterans to move over just to give me a seat. So that's why I wasn't sitting, everyone. It wasn't that nobody gave me a chair, that nobody offered me anything. It was just that I showed up a little bit later than when it started, and I was not going to make veterans move for me to sit down. But I was there for the signing. I did the signing of the 2 proclamations with President Nygren, Speaker Curley, and Chief Justice Joanne Jane. And so, so just to give you an update on that, Arodi Kwagi, height ya hina nishadale eniki bahanadi tishada ni DJ ko bahajongo ya kon danit leniki it ka neja dishnigo ya, you know, we have our Navajo Nation clan system, and we may not know each other, we may not be contacting each other on a daily basis, but shiyaja shewe shiyaj shitsilish shade shiteje shema yaja shijada ahidi no yakon and so that's what I'm referencing to when I say so again, it's been a wonderful week being your Navajo Nation Vice President. I've seen so many people out and about, even in Kanab. And again, just I would just ask for positive thoughts, prayers of for President Nygren and myself, our 25th Navajo Nation Council, our judicial branch of the Navajo Nation, our division directors, and all of our employees across Navajo Nation. So also, just a reminder, we do have many vacant positions on Navajo Nation. In order for our nation to thrive, in order for our nation to have the services that they need, we need to all be working. And so if you're able to get on the website, enter your application, get on interview, and get all that stuff done, you know, let's fill these positions. Let's be 100% fully employed with Navajo Nation so that our people, our vulnerable communities can get the services that they need. And just thank you so much to our students that are out there. Let's continue to do that. Let's continue to bring good thoughts. Let's continue to bring positive thoughts. And but let's keep going forward. So the Zindebo Nishike, share with Albansis case. Akoya Lanana, Dashino Ado di Quagi had Aya Vice President, Heshe Yanaga Danosen, Arodi Bahajo, Navajo Nation. The different activities that are happening across Navajo Nation, the different businesses that are coming on to Navajo Nation, the different types of infrastructure that is coming on to Navajo Nation. We're so thankful for our past leaders, our elders, everybody that has had a hand in bringing the nation to where it is today. And the only way is up, everyone. The only way is good. Again, with our prayers, our good thoughts, we'll bring our nation to what it needs to be for our future. We still have 7 generations to come behind us. Take care of one another. Take care of yourselves. The most important, take care of yourselves. If you're not 100%, you can't help anybody else in this life. So do your very best. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need to do any of these things to make your life a little bit more positive, there is a 3-digit number out there, 988, that can help you. And it's out there. Let's utilize these resources that a lot of our children have established, and let's just do good, Navajo Nation. Again, my name is Rochelle Montoya. I am your 11th Navajo Nation Vice President. I am humble and proud to be serving you in this capacity. So it's a wonderful day, everyone. Take care and be aware of your surroundings.
Sweet morning light touches the eastern sky as I'm standing on this reservation road. Been looking forward to this day when I would want, 'cause this road takes me back to my baby's house. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward. Been traveling this old dirt road since my younger days. It's taken me to where I want to go. To a love so true and a love so right. Just take me home, take me down. Reservation road, reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her.
Yate. Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Yate kodosh shkosene she Tony Skolalis in shie Tolujin and Enschleto Lithuanian Tachini Bashishin Tleslanda Late Saho Yerio Nasha. It's a place up on Black Mesa called and I grew up at a place called Clean Hutted. So it's an honor to be here this afternoon with you. I work as a division director for economic development with the Navajo Nation, and again I come the Nebazadiotis, and I grew up really speaking Navajo, and so that really kind of I always talk about it, and I'm really proud of that upbringing. I was raised by my great grandparents, but I went to business school and started entrepreneurship. Really got into several businesses, but I'm really honored to help our president with really carrying out his platform. So I wanted to talk today about really tourism. And I know there's a we in Navajo we have this joke, right? In our Navajo way, and I always heard this as a kid, like not jitty, when they talk about like the traveler, right? They talk about the person with a big, humongous backpack. That's the name we give them, or not jitty, and then we also call them like si yogi. which is like hippies. Yeah. It, you know, and we call, you know, we name them by their nationalities, but I think the proper term is NAVAJO, you know. And one of the things that you know, there's no set like map here of how I'm going to talk about this, but as we know, tourism is a massive opportunity on our lands, you know, and we've been looking at this recently. So they how do we take advantage of all these visitors? Yeah. So in doing the research, and I write a lot, I read a lot. I actually have a blog where I really try to share a lot of my research and my thinking. But when it comes to tourists, what I've heard is that there's three types of tourists. You know, there's the wannabe, right? And there's a lot of them in the world, and which is they really want to be like us, you know, and they really want to live really simple and maybe participate in a ceremony, eat our foods, and then there's a tourist that's really like more of a they just want excitement. They just want like to have a really good time. They want to really enjoy, you know, and you see those kinds of visitors like at Disneyland. It's a family vacation. Magic Mountain. It's, you know, Las Vegas. They're really there for, you know, it's kind of really just really to get a full-on exciting experience. So that's another type. And then you have a third type, which is more like they want to learn about something, right? They want to learn about architecture. They want to learn about food, really history, you know. And and when you study, those are the three general types of visitors. But when you study that third type, right, the learned, you know, and they travel all over. You go to France, they go to Germany, they go to Japan. They're learning something, you know. They're learning about how to make the food there. They're learning about martial arts. They're learning about automobiles, cars. You know, they're going to something very unique, like a film festival. And so each of those three types, they have their good and bad. Um, but I wanted to talk about the learned visitor because that's the one that's really coming to our land. You know, they really are. I was talking about this in a talk I gave recently that there's a writer from Italy, and you know how I really got intrigued by this was I met with a CEO of I think they're called San Gemini Waters. It's a bottled water company out of Italy, and he was really interested in doing like a joint venture with Navajo, you know, and this was years ago. But I was asking him like, what, you know, because he was saying that he comes out to Navajo every year, and he comes and like he says, I know all your areas. I know Monument Valley. I know the Painted Desert. I know, you know, Blue Canyon. I know Black Mesa. And it's like, how do you know so much about our area? And he told me that there's a comic book, and there's a guy named Lafarge. He wrote all these comic books, and but the superhero in the comic books is a Navajo superhero. And when he wrote these books, he tried to make the land, the geography, very accurate, you know. And so and a lot of you know how we grow, all of us, we grow up with like Superman, Batman, all those crazy comic books, but kids in Italy grow up with this comic book, and it's the Navajo superhero. So a lot of them, they're kind of at home with it. They're used to it. So and he was saying that you know, a lot of the folks in Italy come here every year, you know. And I was like, wow. And he goes, there's nothing like this. The way you guys have open spaces, vistas, canyons, mesas, just the ambiance at night, the ambiance of our land is so unique, you know. So that's really something that really intrigued me was, wow, there's a real desire, you know. And again, the learned visitor is really wanted to see like our community, our actual like our culture. They want to learn about you know, how we do hogans, how we farm the old way. You know, there's a lot of places in the world that don't grow the food the way we do anymore. You know, we have ancient traditions of farming and carrying on the seeds and watching the climate and really planting in very dry area, and we have songs for the corn stalks. We have all these teachings around corn. We have prayers and different ways to really create this healing food, you know. And they want to learn about that. They want to learn about sheep herding, and I don't know if you guys know, but we're like considered the sheep experts of the world. I mean, we've been herding for, man, probably you know, if maybe 600 to 1,000 years, and our people, you know, I did a workshop with some of our elders, and they talked about just all the medicines, all the different types of plants, and what it does for the sheep to flavor it, what it does to tenderize it, how to sweeten it, how to. They all know about breeding too. They know all these ancient techniques about, you know, just like how we breed, and they have all these again ceremony stories. We even butcher it a certain way, you know, in a really respectful way is what I was taught. So all these guys, this is what they want to learn, and so we have a real potential. Our hogans, the rhythm of life. I mean, some of us are fortunate to grow up really traditional, but what we're finding is that there's a real desire in the world, with all these pandemics, with just what's going on with climate change is serious. You know, it's impacting everybody in the planet. There's a real desire, and I read a New York Times article the other day that talked about just a desire for really ecologically sound tourism in a way that respects the earth, you know. And boy, do we have an opportunity. You know, we're internally within our division, we're doing a strategic plan around economic development, but we have a big area with tourism. We have a great staff, incredible staff, and they're really pushing all these like cultural strategies, you know, around, you know, how do we use the richness of who we are, the richness of our land, and as we were brainstorming, as we were strategizing, we talked about like our, you know, how like Phoenix, right? They got you know, they're doing big resorts, big golf courses, big events, museums, and things like that. You know, we're never going to be like Phoenix. We just don't have the numbers to do that. But we have the culture, we have the sheep herds, we have the vistas, we have the language still, our ancient language, we still have songs, we still have our sheep herders, we still have we're the best cowboys in the world per capita, cowgirls. We have this ancient weaving, we have this ancient way of growing our own food and cultivating it. So these are all really values that we can build on, you know. So I wanted to talk about that, and that's kind of what I'm encouraging us. Like, let's develop like our Airbnb initiative, and our president really likes this idea. It's like, let's get 100 Airbnbs, really quality, premium, but let's get products in the communities, tours, information centers. Let's do things around our marketplaces, our markets, you know. And that's really our goal. Is like we really want to build up our community markets and make it more tourist friendly. It's only for us, yeah. And it's our time to be, you know, eat our mutton stew, get our mutton stew fix. But boy, that's what if you were in Mexico, you'd want to go to our community market, right? If you were down in Germany. So how do we then make this more open to visitors? That's really the goal we're doing. We're doing all the big stuff too. Sorry, I'm running out of time, but we're working on the big hotels. We're working on the big resorts. We're expanding out Antelope Point. We're building new projects, like, you know, working on a railroad, taking this old Peabody Railroad and working with the communities. Hopefully they approve this, but we want to turn that into a tourist railroad using ingenious like types of rail cars, you know. And we have all these are Navajo entrepreneurs. Some of our entrepreneurs are ready to go big and build bigger resorts, some really premium type facilities, all kinds of hotels. You see them being built now in like Shanto. We have a project coming together in Tuba. We have one in Cameron. We just bought. We're working towards buying Goulding's Lodge. That's what I talked about in our Division of Economic Development webpage. But I just really wanted to talk about this today, and just really wanted to give you a highlight of tourism and the potential that we have with it. So here, 저는 저녁도 다 있었나도 바히에는 거도 길다고 얘기도 니 프레스 here.
I told him he probably thinks he has till 2 o'clock because I told him he's finishing.
Okay, I think I'm on, right? Okay. Good afternoon. Those of you that were on Facebook Live, some of you folks probably listened to the Facebook Live. Kodoni Navajo Nation President Dr. Boo Nygren. I always appreciate that he's able to provide the information directly to our Navajo population out there. Sarah Slem Yinshia, and I'm the Executive Director for the Navajo Hopi Land Commission. Greetings. I bring greetings to you. Today, I want to go ahead and talk about two specific areas, which is my work that has been ongoing in reference to the escrow monies. 2013, Navajo Hopi Land Commission office, still working with, in consultation with the Navajo Hopi Land Commissioners, 9 commissioners that represent the communities that were impacted by HPL, NPL, former Bennett Freeze. Now we see that there's a newer generation, second generation, they're seeking resources. And then basically who we are as a Navajo Hopi Land Commission office. Our office works directly with the chapters and with housing initiatives utilizing the former Bennett Freeze escrow funds. I'm going to go ahead and provide that update. We also have the Navajo Rehabilitation Trust Funds. Currently, this year, our staff has managed to budget to support 2 elders that live within HPL to purchase 2 water pumps. And also, we've been working with the Dene Relocation Fund as far as working, reviewing the draft finalized document, and that was sent over to the Navajo Hopi Indian Relocation Office. And I was looking at my email the other day. We finally got the blessing. I know that our office, because we work with a demographic called the Dene relocatees, a lot of that population were subject to the Navajo, the ONER office out of Flagstaff. So Chris Brabasi, he went and sent an email saying that he went ahead and provided his concurrence. So what that basically means is we take that Dene Relocation Fund policy, we're going to take it right before the Navajo Hopi Land Commission, the commissioners at one of their regular meetings, so we can ask for their blessings to approve that document. And what we're going to do also is we do have the criteria, the eligibility criteria that's also in draft that has gone to the Department of Justice. So once we get the final approval, we're going to put all those together. And we're also working on a website. So we're developing a community-friendly website so we can upload a lot of this information. So that way our beneficiaries that live out there in NPL, HPL, and even the former Bennett Freeze can have access to this information once we have our website up and running. And I also want to talk a little bit about the escrow funds. We have 9 chapters that fall within the former Bennett Freeze: Bodaway Gap chapter, Cameron chapter, Coal Mine chapter, we have Copper Mine chapter, and Kaibito chapter, we have Luke chapter, Tulani Lake, Tonalea, and Twinanestizi. One of our focus areas has been I just want to back up a little bit and kind of illustrate that the Navajo Hopi Land Commission in 2013 went and deployed a lot of these funds and is intended to go and rehabilitate like homes within the former Bennett Freeze from 2013 to date. There's some challenges as far as drawing down those funds. So that's some of the reasons why we've been going out and meeting face to face. And what we've done with the certified chapter is from our office, we sent out a follow-up letter, and that's just being coherent to the Navajo Nation Oversight Committee, which is the Navajo Hopi Land Commission, the 9 council delegates that represent, and they essentially wanted to know where that project was sitting at. So what we did from our office was we deployed a letter out to the certified chapters, just requesting the certified chapters to give us an update as far as where their projects are at. And if there's any opportunity to assess their challenges, and maybe perhaps we from the office can go ahead and partner with them to ensure that those resources are expended to that population group that live within the former Bennett Freeze. And also, as far as the non-certified chapters, I know that there's some challenges. Only when I took the position, I noticed that there was a legal opinion that was rendered from the DOJ where there was reasons that called for that the non-certified chapters could not receive the funds directly. And then so just going through the motion and really taking a closer look at the opinion that was rendered by the Department of Justice, what that basically means is in order for our office to help support the non-certified chapters draw down their funds, we just need to sit down with OOC, Office of the Controller, to identify that pathway to help the chapters. And we're in a position, we do have staffing within the Navajo Hopi Land Commission office, which is my office, where we can help provide that support to the non-certified chapters. So we're ordering, whether it's building materials, and it's really, we're going to leave certain project development in the hands of the chapters. So that way they engage with their general public, their voting population, to ensure that those funds are allocated to specifically to where the communities want those monies to go. And so we're just essentially a partner in all of this. And I just wanted to give you guys an update that we've been making our rounds, and then we're really assessing what challenges that they have, because under Dr. Nygren and Toya administration, one of the marching orders that we keep getting at the division directors is that we have to partner with chapters to ensure that they're successful. And this is all a part of it. So, and I just wanted to share that information with everyone. And I've been making my rounds, doing face-to-face. And on Friday, I believe I was invited to attend the Tonalea chapter meeting at 1 o'clock. And I'm sure at that time I'll be able to get an update as far as where the chapter is with respect to their fundings that they've received. So I just wanted to provide that information. And also my travels into Washington, D.C., I met with the attorneys that work directly with the Navajo Hopi Land Commission with respect to the Navajo technical amendments that we have. And so there's been strategy we talked about. We made our rounds meeting with the Arizona elected delegation staffers that are working out there to begin to really break down the technical amendments as it applies today. So we'll also be making our rounds, and we do have a draft resolution, and feel free to reach out to our chapter, and certainly I'll be making my way to the chapters that are impacted by whether it's NPL, HPL, and former Bennett Freeze, and we do have a draft resolution, and feel free to invite me. I can come out to the communities so we can have this face-to-face dialogue from our office. One example I want to share with you is when I met with the Talani Lake chapter with respect to the escrow funds. We had a crowding of community members that came to the chapter that day, and they just wanted to hear information coming out of the Navajo Hopi Land Commission, and they were very cordial, they were very respectful. We did come out, and it was a meaningful dialogue, and I was able to provide a lot of responses that the community members in general had. And so with that, I think my time is up for today, and I just wanted to say on behalf of the President Nygren and the Toya administration. It's been a privilege to work on behalf of the Navajo Nation, and also to making certain that we're partnering with the chapters and whether it's nonprofit organizations to alleviate a lot of the issues that we have, a long-standing problems that we have in our communities. So, Sarah Slim Unisiedo, I'm the Executive Director for the Navajo Hopi Land Commission, and have a wonderful day.